North Korea is one of the world's most secretive nations, drawing global attention for its unpredictable actions and military ambitions. Isolated from much of the international community, it stands apart as a country shrouded in mystery, where daily life and government decisions are rarely seen by outsiders. The Kim dynasty's regime projects unwavering defiance, using secrecy and propaganda to keep the world guessing. Through carefully crafted images and messages, the leadership maintains a powerful grip on its people and shapes how the outside world perceives the nation. North Korea's nuclear weapons program is a direct challenge to global security, making every missile test a matter of urgent international concern. Each launch sends shockwaves through diplomatic circles, raising fears of escalation and conflict in an already tense region. The regime's tight control over information fuels speculation and anxiety, as reliable details about life inside the country are scarce. Journalists and analysts often rely on rare glimpses and defector testimonies to piece together what is really happening behind closed borders. Human rights abuses, economic hardship, and the daily struggles of ordinary citizens remain shrouded in mystery. The outside world can only imagine the challenges faced by North Koreans, as stories of hardship and resilience occasionally emerge. North Korea's actions can destabilize East Asia and draw in major powers, making it impossible for the world to ignore. Its decisions ripple far beyond its borders, affecting alliances, economies, and the delicate balance of peace in the region. The recent launch of its first modern destroyer, the Choe-Hyon, is a bold signal of its growing military ambitions. This development highlights North Korea's ongoing efforts to modernize its armed forces and assert its presence on the world stage. The world watches North Korea not just out of curiosity, but because its choices have real consequences for global peace. Every move is closely monitored, as the stakes are high for both the region and the wider international community. National power today is more than just military might or territory. It's a blend of military strength, economic vitality, technology, resources, diplomacy, and geography. Military force remains a visible pillar, especially with advanced weapons like nuclear arms and cyber capabilities. Economic strength fuels military modernization and global influence, while a weak economy limits a nation's reach. Technology and control over resources signal innovation and provide leverage. Diplomatic skill shapes alliances and international norms. Geography can amplify or constrain a nation's influence. These elements together define a country's true power. North Korea's paradox lies in its military focus despite economic weakness. North Korea's power is built on its massive military, one of the world's largest, with millions of personnel under arms and a culture deeply rooted in militarism. The country's leadership has long prioritized military strength as the foundation of its regime's survival and influence. Its arsenal includes aging Soviet-era hardware, from tanks to artillery, but the sheer numbers alone pose a real threat to South Korea and Japan. Even with outdated equipment, North Korea's military remains formidable due to its scale and readiness. The regime's top priority is its strategic weapons, ballistic missiles, and nuclear arms that deter intervention and amplify its leverage on the world stage. These weapons are showcased in frequent parades, sending a clear message to adversaries. In recent years, there's been a determined push to modernize the Navy, highlighted by the launch of the Choe-Hyon destroyer, which is armed with advanced missiles and represents a leap forward in naval capability. Kim Jong-un aims to arm the Navy with nuclear weapons and build even larger warships, signaling a significant shift in regional maritime power and ambitions to project force beyond North Korea's shores. Russian technical assistance has likely aided this naval expansion, providing expertise and technology that North Korea could not develop alone. Ambitious plans for a nuclear-powered submarine would further strengthen North Korea's second strike capability, making its deterrent far more credible and difficult to neutralize. North Korea's military is evolving, continually enhancing its deterrent and coercive power, and ensuring the regime remains a central player in regional security dynamics. North Korea's economy is shaped by decades of isolation, international sanctions, and the guiding doctrine of juche, or self-reliance, which demands that the nation depend on its own resources above all else. International sanctions target key exports and imports, creating chronic shortages of food, fuel, and consumer goods, and leading to widespread economic hardship for ordinary citizens. The regime prioritizes military and heavy industry, funneling scarce resources into weapons programs and defense infrastructure, often at the expense of civilian needs and social welfare. Despite these hardships, North Korea adapts, engaging in illicit activities like cybercrime, smuggling, and black market trade to generate much-needed revenue and circumvent restrictions. A limited market economy has emerged in recent years, with informal markets and small businesses offering some relief, but not enough to overcome the country's fundamental economic weaknesses. The country relies heavily on China for trade and aid, and increasingly turns to Russia for fuel, technology, and diplomatic support, highlighting its dependence on a few key partners. Economic fragility remains North Korea's greatest vulnerability, in stark contrast to its grand military ambitions and displays of strength. The regime's ongoing challenge is sustaining its military-first policy on a fragile economic base, while its people continue to struggle for survival and basic necessities. North Korea sits atop vast mineral wealth, coal, iron, rare earths, that could transform its economy. However, sanctions and outdated infrastructure keep this potential locked away. The regime channels resources into defense, not economic development, prioritizing weapons over civilian prosperity. This military-first approach means natural riches remain untapped while the population faces deprivation. The paradox: a country rich in resources but poor in development, by deliberate choice. Every available asset is directed toward military strength, not modernization. North Korea's resources are a path not taken, sacrificed for regime security. North Korea's location gives it outsized strategic importance, bordering China, Russia, and South Korea. Its position at the crossroads of major powers makes it central to East Asian security. China values North Korea as a buffer. The US and its allies see it as a persistent threat. The DMZ is the world's most fortified border, and Seoul's proximity to North Korean artillery raises the stakes of any conflict. North Korea exploits its geography, playing powers against each other to gain support and attention. Its ability to manipulate regional rivalries amplifies its influence far beyond its economic size. Geography ensures North Korea remains a critical, if volatile, player in the region. North Korea's future hinges on the tension between military ambition and economic fragility. Kim Jong-un's regime is committed to military advancement, but this comes at a steep cost to the nation's economy and people. Sanctions and isolation will persist as long as nuclear development continues. The regime faces a choice: maintain its military-first path or pivot toward economic reform and diplomacy. Renewed talks could open doors to investment and growth, but failure risks deeper isolation and instability. Growing ties with Russia offer short-term relief, but deepen estrangement from the West. North Korea's influence is real but brittle. Its power rests on a fragile foundation. The nation's trajectory will shape the security of East Asia for years to come. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring you more in-depth analysis. Thanks for watching.